One way of how to create a parametric bracket by using sketches, form features, reference features, and associative lines. On video part 1, I will give you a brief demo of some of the parameters that had been created on this bracket, and I will also create a sketch profile of the part. On video 2, I will be establishing the associated reference features, in other words, all the datum planes and axes, and creating a dark sketch. On video 3, constraining the dark sketch. On video 4, creating bosses, creating the slab, and shelling the part. So let's begin by selecting Format, Layer Settings, and turning off the labels to a fit here for the part itself. And as you can see, there is several datum planes that I have previously created just to give us an understanding of how this particular dart here is totally associative and that we can modify. Here's the sketch, and if we rotate the part slightly here and put it in just the profile, you can see the shape of the dart here going at an angle. If I select that datum plane and I slightly move it downwards or upwards, it doesn't matter, and just type any number there, any value, realizing that this is an associative datum. See how it changed the orientation of that angle on the dart. If I select this other datum and do the same thing, just slightly move it downwards, and put a different size here. Notice how the dart got smaller. That's all due to the associativity of the datum planes to the dart, the way it was constructed. Rotating the part slightly again, we can see that there is also some of the features that had been incorporated in this dart. For example, there is a shell here, and also there is an internal blend and external blends. Due to the fact that we have used the shell operator at the proper time, we can modify the blends on the outside of the part, and then by just changing the sizes at the outside, the inside will also change. Let's select the sketch itself and pick the angle that has been previously created with a value of 75. Change it to a different angle size. 90 is fine. Change the radius here, and as you can see, everything changes with the parameters of the sketch. Let's finish. Get out of the sketch mode. Rotate the part slightly, and we can see that there is a datum plane here, and this datum plane is being used to position the sketch. So if we change that from, let's say, a 22 to a 20, that actually, I'm realizing that it's an associative datum, and hitting OK, the dart will move with the datum plane. Again, that datum was used to position the dart. There is associative incorporated just about everywhere in this bracket. Notice that there is a sketch here, and there is also a profile of this tab in the back. The sketch is with the profile, and the tab is being used with associative lines. And if I select the sketch that I use for the profile and double click on the angle and modify the angle, I want you to notice how the tab here will follow through when I finish the sketch. So it changes the angle as well, so it rotates, and it is because of the associative of those two lines right here to the solid that we have here. So notice here in the Part Navigator we have the two lines. That's one vertical line, one horizontal line, and they're associative lines. We have a hole here, and I'm not going to spend the time creating that hole, something that we have previously learned. But I want you to realize that this particular slot here has been associated to this datum plane, and that has a specific angle. So I'm going to change that angle to an acceptable angle. Let's go with 150, and realizing there is an associative datum plane as well, and hit OK, and realize how the slot follows the datum plane. We're going to orientate the view to the tri-isometric. And I'm going to go under Format, Layer Settings, and turn off, or basically, let's see what we're going to do here. I'm going to make layer 10 my work layer so I can start a new part and demonstrate how to create the profile of the part. So I'm going to turn off all of these layers here where I have previously created this geometry, and close the settings, do a fit. We're going to take the WCS, and we're going to position it for the creation of the sketch by just rotating into a working plane. We want the X, Y to be in that direction because that's how we're going to create a profile of the sketch. Go on the Insert, Sketching Task Environment, and we are going to give it a name to that sketch, SK underscore. Give it any name we wish. And hit enter. Creating immediate datum sequence has to be turned on. Hit OK. And we are going to go into Orient View Isometric so we can realize that the sketch has been created in the proper orientation. So we create the geometry that we need for the profile, which is just simple basic two lines. We're going to constrain them. Select the endpoint of that line, select that other endpoint, make that a coincident, and we're going to select the endpoint of that line and make it coincident with the point on the sketch. So all the geometry will move. We're going to select that line and we're going to make it collinear with the y-axis. Orientate the sketch flat to the screen. We will put, let's say, a linear dimension for the bottom here. Make that a 50. And a linear dimension for this line here, and we're going to make that 100. We have only one constraint to go, and that should be the angular dimension. Let's make that 105, that's good. So let's close, and we have a fully constrained sketch. Move the dimensions slightly to get in a little organized. Finish the sketch. Now we're going to create the extrusion by just simply selecting the future curves and just leave this at a non-boolean operation. We're going to go equal dimensions on both sides. We're going to make it 25 and a negative 25. And for the offset, we're going to leave this at two-sided. And start and end here, well, we have it backwards. It doesn't make any difference. We can leave that as a negative. Let's put a value here of 35, negative 35, and hit OK. You can see that the sketch is going in the proper or the extrusion is going in the proper direction. We accept it. We replace the view, make it the isometric, and I guess that's what we're gonna do for this particular video. I encourage you to watch the next videos